Hopefully you guys can hear me over the dogs barking in the neighborhood. I want to film this video outside. It's so nice out. Shh, 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 shh. Hello, darlings. Today is Saturday, the 19th of June, July, crazy. Saturday, the 19th of July, 2025. Beautiful night. I did a thing today. I auditioned for the Shrek musical. I was honestly super nervous going in. I've never auditioned for anything in my life. Actually, no, I have, technically, but we're not going to talk about that audition right now. This audition, I thought it was going to be packed. I mean, I love Shrek. Raise your hand if you love Shrek. Me. I thought it was going to be so many people there. I even got there early because I was like, let me find parking and let me get in there early so I don't have to wait in the line and yada yada yada. So I get there at 2:30. Audition starts at 3. I walk in and I was expecting there to be like, this is a performance arts center, so there's different wings, if you will. There's different wings of the building. And one of the wings is the gallery, one of the wings is like something else. But yeah, I found the one parking spot that was left, so I was expecting to walk in and there's a ton of people. And I was also expecting there to be some twists and turns before getting to the actual room where auditions were being held and where we were gonna like be waiting and checking in and all that stuff. So, but I walk into the front door of the building, and immediately so there's one kid, he looks like 16 or 17, I don't know. And then there's two older people, a man and a woman, sitting on a table like all the way directly across the room. And they greet me right away. They're like, "Hi." So, and there's only one other person in here. And I was joking earlier with somebody saying, wouldn't it be hilarious if I was the only one who showed up? Because I auditioned not as a joke. I respect the theater, respect the production. I would have been, and I'm still, like, this was earlier today, I'm still so down to do that if I do end up getting the part somehow. But I was joking, saying, like, what if nobody shows up and I'm the only one who auditions? Do they just continue holding auditions and, like, delay the show, or do they have, like, a window for auditions or whatever? But there was like a couple other people that showed up after me. Like I said, I was early, and one of them was a redhead, so I was like, oh, I know, like, who you're auditioning for, because I auditioned for Fiona. I feel like I can relate to her. And let me tell you, the audition went better than I thought it was gonna go. Honestly, I went in there so ill prepared. This is a paid role too, mind you, so I'm not just doing this like for funsies. Like, I actually put my best foot forward. Oh, I tried to, with the limited amount of time I had, because I just found out about it like a couple days ago. Because I'm not an actress, I'm not in musical. I was never in musical theater. I never did, like, I like to sing. I mean, I actually really don't like musicals at all. Wicked was pretty good. Hamilton is great. Hamilton snapped, but even those, like, even when the music is good, something about, like, when I'm watching a film or when I'm watching a plot unravel, I just don't really love the song every 5 minutes, you know? Like, I feel like a musical, it's an art, not just in the music itself, but the timing of the music. Because if you have a song every 5 minutes and you don't, there's hair on my tongue, and you're not making room for any dialogue or any action outside of a song, then I don't know, at some point it's just like the audience, or at least me, I don't want to speak for the whole audience, but if it's like a song every 5 minutes, I just can't even really focus on the plot that's unfolding in front of me, because I'm just like, okay, when are they gonna sing again? Like, okay, now they're gonna sing. Like, there's a pause, and it's like, okay, now they're gonna sing a song again, and I have to follow along with the music, and it's like, I don't know, some things are just better. Like, you don't have to make a song for every, like, scene, you know? I don't know. I don't write musicals, but that's just my take on that. We're gonna talk about the story. We're gonna talk about the story of Joseph today. Joseph, my boy, Joseph. So, I don't know about you guys, but especially recently, when I've started to get closer to God and like pray more, and you know, I'm on my walk. I'm beginning my walk. I'm in the beginning stages. This is my genesis right here. I have been through a lot of painful moments, just like pain, you know, and time again, it's hurt. And I also feel like I also have felt in these moments not only hurt, but like I felt crazy. I felt like I was being pranked. I felt like, where's the cameras at? It didn't make sense. And I'm not gonna go into too much detail about like my personal life, because that's just not the point. And I've like read up on this online too, because when phenomenons like this happen, it's like one of those things that you have to Reddit it, you know? You have to like type it in and find somebody who's wrote about it on Reddit, because that's where we talk about our supernatural, paranormal, whatever you want to call it, religious experiences. And so here's what happens. So all these things started happening to me, like I felt like I was just taking L after L after L after L after L after L after L. Like nothing was working out for me. I felt like I had like nobody really that I could trust or really talk to about anything that was going on in my mind. I ended up like going through a period where I was just like stagnant, like what do they call it? Catatonic, I think that's the word. I didn't even look it up yet, I just remembered it. Yeah, just like there was a period where like a couple weeks where I was just like, I mean, the thing about me is I've always been one to bounce back super quick. Like whenever anything happens, I literally have optimism tatted on me, which I'm not going to show you, but I have the word optimism tatted on me for a reason, because in situations when like it's like why, like what, like this. And what's crazy is like God sends signs. Like you have to pay attention, because he sent signs of all this stuff happening. So like I was kind of like mentally prepared, I guess you could say, for these situations to arise, because like they would be in the back of my head and I'd be like, nah, that's not gonna happen, and then it happened. And it's like yeah, just a lot of pain and like rejection and like fear and uncertainty and insecurity. And I'm still kind of going through it too. Like I'm like exhausting all avenues to try to like put myself in a better position and get closer to God, and also make the money that I've come to like expect out of myself income wise. Let's get back to Joseph. So Joseph wanted to be important to Mufasa. He was Simba, Chanda, Mufasa. He couldn't wait to be king. And his brothers, I can't remember their names. His brothers were super jealous of him. Like, they were so jealous of him that they sold him as a slave to go be a slave in Egypt. And then they told their dad that Joseph died, or he was dead or whatever. So bad start for Joseph, because now he's a slave in this faraway, unfamiliar land, which his own family sent him to. And like, again, like, you want to talk about like pain, and like when shit doesn't make, excuse my language, when stuff doesn't make sense, and when it's like, why is this happening to me? It doesn't make sense. Like this, like, that's his family. Those are the people that are supposed to protect him. So now he's a slave in Egypt, and he didn't know what was going on. He didn't know what was happening. He didn't know why. Like, he couldn't make sense of why that happened to him either, but he trusted in God and he kept working. So Joseph was in charge of food distribution and storage. So he worked really hard to feed a ton of people, and ended up being really important, being really notable in a way that he didn't expect. But he changed and touched so many people's lives that, like, he left the legacy that he always wanted. And there's a part in it that I wrote down. This is Genesis 50:20, and this is when Joseph reconnects with his brothers, and this is him like kind of confronting them, and he says, "You intended to harm me, but God intended it for good, to accomplish what is now being done, the saving of many lives." So like, he's basically just telling his brothers, like, yeah, like, you sent me away to try to get rid of me, but I ended up saving so many people, and like, accomplishing what I had set out to accomplish in the beginning. And it's just like, it just goes to say that like God has a plan for all of us, and like everybody, and like people are always gonna have something to say about the path you're on, the journey you're on. And you're gonna lose a lot of friends, a lot of people you thought you were close to. You're gonna lose stuff that feels like a loss. Like, it really does. It feels like a loss, because it's stuff that like you value. Again, like, it feels like you're being pranked, and like, where's the cameras at? Because at least for me, it all happened really quickly. Like, but yeah, the irony of the whole story also is that Joseph's brothers sent him to die, basically. Like, they sent him to his death. They didn't have any expectations or hopes or thoughts of him coming back or returning. But the only reason that his family and anybody in that entire nation was able to survive was because of Joseph's hard work. And so he ended up saving the people that sent him to his death. They were in a huge famine, massive food shortage. Nobody had food, and Joseph was making miracles. He was bringing out the pizza and the wings. Another thing about Joseph is that he was emotional. Like, if you're watching this season of Love Island, Amaya reminds me of Joseph, because he's just very emotional, just very very, wear his heart on his sleeve. He just really cared about the people around him and the world around him, the impact that he could leave on the world. He didn't have the best experience because of that, like, and I can relate to that too. Shit, you wear your heart on your sleeve, you gotta be prepared to get hurt. But God will reward you for being faithful to him, especially when you don't feel important, when you don't feel cared for, and when you don't feel like you're fulfilling your purpose in life. Okay, I think that's gonna have to be enough film for today. It's still super hot out here, but I appreciate your patronage, and I hope you keep coming back to watch. Peace and love. Spread love, not kindness, and make sure you praise Jesus today. Bye.